Hello, everyone. It's Sunday once again, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Drummer. We're an hour early today, this week, because there's football. So, and my guest this week wants to watch football. So I thought we're going to be, instead of 2 o'clock, which is our usual slot, we'll do it at 1 o'clock. So yeah, and it's quite good for our friends in Manila as well, because that means they're not going to be staying up way too late, because it's 9 p.m. in Manila. So I just want to say hello to all our friends who are going to join us, so like watching us from the Philippines. Um, yeah, so it's Manchester City apparently are playing today at 3 o'clock. So hopefully we won't be too long, so he can watch the match. And yeah, so my dear friends, please welcome fresh from Bangface Festival, which I'm going to ask him what it's all about. Please welcome our guest this week, Keith Pleasant. Yay! Hiya, Keith.
Yeah, all right.
How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'll
Thanks for
try
having me.
not. Yeah, well, all right, but I'll try not to keep you too long because I know you're really looking forward to seeing. So you're a Manchester
Oh, it's
City
all
fan.
right. I just thought I could do both. Watch it, do this, and then watch football.
um, Manchester City is like I know what's his name, Mark Burgess. He's a Manchester City fan, isn't he?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
but yeah, I know more. And I think I know more Manchester United fans than Manchester City fans, though. But anyways, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know much about football anyway. So what I'm gonna ask you is, what is Bangface Festival? Because you just came from
Hang
there.
face. No,
Yeah.
this year it's moved to May. It is normally in March. You're right, but I don't know why, but this year they've moved it to May. So me and my brother go to that. We've not been yet this year,
All
but
right.
it's an electronic music festival that lasts for 4 days.
And where
Just
is it? Where
four
is it
days
held?
of madness, full on electronic music. Um, yeah, it's a mad festival. If you go on the website,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
gives you a bit of an idea of what it's like with the videos on there.
All right. So where is it held?
It's at Pontins in Southport.
All right. Also, it's almost like Shine On, but
Yeah,
instead of buttons, you go
yeah, it's
to,
got
yeah.
the vibe of Shine On, but a lot more people off their heads.
So who will be headlining this year there?
Bangface.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I've got a bad memory. You'll have to use my
Well, we're
memory.
gonna sort of like check you out then.
I cannot remember. Is Square Pusher playing?
But it's like electronic
Yeah, it's
music.
all electronic music. I can't remember, Anna. I just go for it every year. I'm not bothered who's playing. I just love it.
That's fine. Well,
Sorry.
no, that's all right. But before, all right. Well, before we sort of like start properly, we
Yeah.
want to say hello to your brother Neil.
All
Hello,
right.
Neil.
Neil
He said,
Quiff.
yeah, Neil Quiff. He said, "Go on, bro." So,
All right, bro.
yeah. Well, thanks for joining us live, Neil. So
I'll
yeah,
be watching. All right, bro.
yeah, because I mean, I always thought like when I think of you, it's like you're like a part of the Shine On,
Yeah.
the Shine On family that I always call. So, like whenever I go to Shine On, you and Neil are always there. Either you're
Yeah.
playing or you just, you know.
Yeah, we have played it a few times as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we just go to it anyway. We've been going since it started. started 2015. Shine On. Did you go to the first one?
No, no, because
All right.
it wasn't until 2017 when the my friend Gemma actually found me on the Shine On website.
All right.
Because going to gigs on my own, I mean, I couldn't really like go to Shine On, go to Minehead on my own, and
Why
so
not?
like, yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, where am I going to stay? I don't think they have like a single room at Shine On. So
All right. I get you.
yeah, so
Yeah, it just costs a bit more if
yeah,
you're not sharing one set.
yeah.
Is
So
that is that where I first met you? Was it
um,
Shine, or was it just on the gig scene in Manchester?
I think the first one was at Shine On 2017 when you replaced Mike Carty, because
Oh,
Mike was
on
the
the
drummer.
drums. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and
yeah,
you just watched us
yeah,
and then started talking to you
yeah.
because you're a fan. Yeah.
Right.
I just don't remember
Well,
how I met you, but
yeah. Well, we'll talk about time for action in a bit, but
okay.
so we'll start properly. So, welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 32 is all about you, Keith Pleasant. So, so we're gonna start from the very beginning because I know that you're Manchester born and bred. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I grew up in a place called Failsworth in Manchester, where Manny's from. But
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a Manc through and through.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, you're a proper monk. So
Right.
so what's it like growing up in Failsworth? Because for someone like me, I mean, who's just so like crazy about Manchester,
Right.
this is the sort of like thing that I only dreamed about, like actually being born and raised here in Manchester. But
Okay.
you are a proper monk. So what was it like growing up in Failsworth?
Well, it was really good. I'm proud of being a Manc. I love being a Manc. I don't know any different, so it was just really good growing up in Failsworth. And it was good having an older brother. He's 2 years older than me, Quiff.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
I was at school. That's how I got into better music through my brother, really, because like I was just sat at home listening to like Brother Beyond and Jason and Kylie. And then one day my brother, because he's older and he was mates were into the Manchester scene, he brought home some records like In Spiral Carpets and Happy Mondays and Stone Roses, and said, yeah, bro, put that Kylie down, listen to some good music. So that's how I got into indie music. Yeah, it was just, and then at school I had like the green army coat with the German flag on.
Oh yeah.
And I had long hair, so people that if you saw me, you knew I was into music, if you know what I mean, because of the way I looked. To look like I was into Nirvana and grunge music, and then so I started hanging around at Failsworth School with people that were into music and just hanging about with them, and it was just good growing up in Failsworth with my mates and my bro that were into good music. It was a good upbringing, and my mum did a top job bringing me and my brother up. It would have been a birthday today. She would have been 73, so happy birthday, mum.
Yeah. Oh, well, happy birthday to your mum. So I was like, yeah.
My
You saw like Mummy's Boys, you and Neil.
There loves watching us. Any band we've been in, she's from the start. She's just watched us in bands all our career, sort of thing. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, she
yeah.
loves watching us live.
So growing up in the best city of the world,
Yeah,
and right in the middle of the Manchester scene as well. That
yeah.
must be so. I was like, that's just absolutely
Oh
amazing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was really good. I was proper into the Manchester music, but because I was still at school, me and my bro, so we loved it and we loved listening to it, but we could never go to the gigs. We weren't old enough. We weren't old enough to go to the gigs, so we missed all the original, you know, all the big gigs what all Stone Roses did and all that. But
Right? Yeah, yeah,
I remember feeling part of it just by listening to it, you know.
yeah.
Um,
With Manny being from Failsworth, did
yeah.
you have any sort like dealings with Manny in the past, or when you were like young, or before he became really famous? Did you already know about him, or not really?
No, no, no. I didn't have a clue who he was until I don't know. I think I saw an interview or something, or read an interview, and he said he was from Failsworth, and he used to work at a place called Pifco. And I think he got sacked for throwing a kettle at his boss or something.
Oh,
But both me and my brother both worked at Pifco as well, but we didn't get sacked.
let me just say hello to Ryan McHugh.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Ryan.
yeah,
All right.
said
Yeah,
yes, B. Yes, Queen. And Ryan said best drummer in Manchester. Absolute
hey,
fact.
cheers,
Yay.
mate. I'll pay you when I see you. He
And
went to a
he
gig
also
last
said,
night. Ryan went to a gig last night. Churches at the Apollo.
all right.
Yeah, yeah. Looked all right.
Oh, you went with him. You went to the gig
No,
with
I
him.
didn't go. No, Ryan went.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Well, he also said happy birthday, Diane. So he obviously saw
All
like
right. Cheers, Ryan. Thanks.
so yeah, so you've always you and Neil have always been into me. Oh, it's Neil who actually got you away from Jason and Kylie and got you
Yeah.
and got you into so like the Manchester music scene and
Yeah,
stuff.
and then it went from Manchester music. We'd sit there whenever John Peel was on. We'd just listen to
Yeah,
John Peel all the time, like, and tape the onto cassette. This is how old we are. So we'd tape the sessions, you know, the bands he had in session
yeah, yeah.
on cassettes and do Peel compilations and stuff. And it's John Peel that got us into the weirder alternative, you know, kind of music. You know, Dinosaur Jr. and
Yeah, yeah.
Nirvana, and then
But this must be early 90s though. It's not
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
part of the 80s and you're early 90s.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I think the best. I still think the best music was the early 90s, from let's say 91
Yeah.
to 95 was unbelievable for music. For me and my brother, we got into so many bands, different genres. It was Pale got us into all sorts. But again, we just used to listen to it. We didn't go to gigs
Yeah, yeah.
until I was still at school when I went to my first gig. I remember going in school the next day, but it was at the Boardwalk. I didn't go to my first gig until 1995.
Right. So
Dodgy at the Boardwalk.
what was the first one? What was the first gig that you went to? Do you remember?
Dodgy.
Oh, Dodgy.
You know Dodgy, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Shine. Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah.
Dodgy at the Boardwalk it was. And my brother went to his first gig on the same night,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think his was at the Academy. He watched Beastie Boys while I was watching Dodger.
Yeah, I love Dodgy. I always sort of like whenever they're on at Shine On, I'll sort of like make sure that I go and see Dodgy because
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
just love them.
Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, yeah, good.
Yeah, but what got you into drumming? Have you always been into have you always wanted or thought about like, yeah, this is what I want to do? Or have you
No,
seen
no.
someone say um Matthew Priest from Dodgy,
Yeah.
when you saw him for the first time as your first gig, was it like, I want to be like Matthew
No,
Priest?
no, not at all. I was in a band at school on guitar. I used to play guitar, and we were called Appleade.
Happily.
And we just did one gig at school, and then I remember practicing with Appleade in our mate's kitchen extension, I think it was. And I just said to my mate Chris, who was on drums in that band, I said, "Can I have a go on them drums?" And he said, "Yeah." And I started playing. And I think we played Radiohead, Creep. We might have played a Beastie Boys song as well. But he was watching me, and he said, "The next band you're in, you go on drums," because he must have noticed something in me.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it was natural or something. I don't know. But I went from guitar. The next band I was in was with Chris, my mate Chris from school. And he went on bass. He said, "You go on drums." And then it was our mate Paul who was on guitar and singing. And it was a punk band. So it was dead fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what taught me how to play drums well, I think. Like, because you can go fast, and if you can keep up, with the drum beats and drum fills, doing it fast, you can always slow it down, So that's what taught me how to play drums, really. The punk band I was in, they were called Fenestella.
What was that?
Fenestella, I think it's, in a church,
Yeah.
I think it's the glass windows with patterns on. I think it's something to do with that.
Oh,
I
really?
think, I'll have to Google that.
It's like the mosaic, the glass stained windows in
Yeah, I
churches.
think they call it a Fenestella.
Oh, I see. So it's got nothing to do with Interstellar.
No, they're a good band, though. I like them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Stella Grande.
Yeah, Stella Grande, so
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with that one. So.
yeah, they're a good band.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and that was at college when I was at in Fenestella.
Yeah.
Do you want
And
to know
was
what
the
bands I've been in, or because I've made some notes? I had to write all the bands down because I've been in that many.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went from Fenestella. They just. Oh, I left Fenestella. My mates from school who ended up in a band with. I've known them for years, and then I went from Fenestella. I left them, and then started a band with some mates from school. So it was me, my bro, and then our mates Jonah and Aka, and we were called Velvet Show.
Oh,
And I was in that band for years. That
yeah.
band lasted. I think that was about 97 to around 2003. The singer Aka went to live in New York for 3 months with his girlfriend Paula, just for the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
So 2003, that's the time when the Strokes were out and, Franz Ferdinand and all music like that. So he was watching bands while he was in New York. and then he came back from New York and said, right, scrap all our songs. I've wrote a load of new songs, and we changed our name to Behind Green Lights, which we just chose it. We just wrote a list of names and chose it, got it down to 3, and then chose that. Behind Green Lights, it's an old, I think it's 50s film, like a crime film or something. I can't remember, but yeah. Then Behind Green Lights, they did really well. I'll be honest with you, and it's no offense to any other band I've been in or I am in at the moment, SINKR. But Behind Green Lights, just because it was with my mates and it was like we was all in it, together trying to get signed and making it and all that. It was just really good times in Behind Green Lights, and I'd say that's the best band I've ever been in. I've enjoyed the most.
And that's with Neil as well.
That was with Quiff, Neil, yeah. Quiff. Yeah, I've been in bands with Quiff for years, since Velvet Show. He wasn't in Appalade, and he wasn't in Fenestella either. But yeah, then
ever since then.
Apart from a couple of bands, I've been playing with my bro for years. Yeah, he's always bass. I'm always drums. Drum bass combo, the backbone.
Yeah. Well, did you ever go for drumming lessons to
No.
So you just taught yourself?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I was on guitar, and then suddenly the next band I'm playing drums, and I thought I prefer playing drums, so I've just stuck at it for years.
And you just practice.
My mate Chris Clare, who told me to go on drums, all he ever said was, the only advice he said was, keep your, I don't know how to put it, keep your wrists loose, like don't drum like you've got big tree trunks in your hands, like that. So, do it loose like that. And that's the only advice I've ever got. But that's
and then you just carried on practicing, and until
I've never had a drum kit at home to practice. I just drum on my knees, doing air drumming, and then get bruised knees, bruised legs. My mum thought it was a bit weird doing air drumming to mud on her. But it worked out in the end.
Because Ryan says he's the best drummer in Manchester, so he actually did all your air drumming actually, so it did work. But, you and Neil, I know that you love going to gigs a lot. I mean, it's like, as much as I love going to
well. So
and you're obviously so big fans yourself. I mean, you and Neil,
fans of music.
Fans of this, and lots of bands as well.
Oh yeah,
and lots of different bands. I remember seeing you and Neil at the Boo Radleys last year.
Oh yeah, really good band.
The Boo Brothers.
You are
the Boo Brothers.
Oh yeah.
See, I mean, being a drummer yourself, and then you go and see Rob Seeker of
he's a top drummer.
Yeah, so what was it like for someone like me who's not really, I was just a fan. I mean, I'm not into I don't know any musical instruments or anything. I'm not a drummer, so I just go there as a fan and I see him, and it's so oh my god, he's so amazing and everything.
Right.
But being a drummer yourself, when you see Rob Seeker playing the drums, what's it like for you? And
I always watch drummers when I go and watch bands. Excuse me. I always watch the drummers. I mean, I watch the other band members as well as the gig's going on, but I concentrate. I'd say I concentrate more on the drummer every single gig
yeah,
I go to. And if they're a really good drummer, like I remember Rob's a really good drummer. Boo Radley's. He's a
yeah,
really
yeah,
good
it
drummer.
is. Yeah,
But I remember watching Block Party at the Apollo once, and I actually didn't watch any other band member because the drummer's that amazing. I just watched him for the whole gig, and I do that regularly, like just watch the drummer
yeah, yeah.
as well as the other band members, but more the drummer. You're right on that one.
Yeah. Do you take notes, or do you just sort of like watch
Well,
as a
in
fan?
the
Like,
end, I don't
yeah,
write notes down, but um, yeah, I comment on whether they're a good drummer or not. Like to my wife, Pied, I'll say, I'll say something, and it's like she's learned a lot more about drums since meeting me because
yeah,
she didn't know anything about them and the way they set up and how you do different drum fills and stuff like that. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I do look and sort of comment in my head about stuff. Yeah, yeah. And I'll say if they're a rubbish drummer as well.
Well, I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask you about any rubbish drummers because I just
Okay.
think because you know me. I mean, I do love drummers, so I think all drummers
Yeah,
are amazing. So,
yeah.
but right, so we are going to. So all these bands that you were in
Yeah.
before, um, before. So like, did you have any like recording contracts, or were you able to release any music with all the bands that you were in before?
No, I've always recorded in virtually every band I've been in.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's never been released on an official label, so to speak. We do. I've recorded CDs over the years. Every band
yeah,
I've been in. But the closest we got to getting signed, I mean, when you asked me to do this, Ask the Drummer, I'm buzzing that I'm on it. But I've looked at who else you've interviewed, and they're all, it's their job, the pros, like, Stephen Morris, etc. But I've got a full time job and I do bands as a hobby. So I thought, I'm glad you've got me on.
yeah,
I've not got anything to promote, like I'm an official paid drummer, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
But
I mean, it's like,
we've recorded over the years.
yeah, yeah,
I've been on recordings, but they've never been released. The band I'm in now, SINKR, we're ready to record an album. We've recorded 2 songs so far, and we've
yeah,
put them on our Bandcamp. And we've actually just printed some CDs to sell, I don't know, for a quid each at gigs and stuff. But we're going to record an album and it'll get released
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
people, but it might not be on a proper label.
yeah.
We did come close to getting signed in Behind Green Lights about 2005, I think it was. Sony Records were looking at us to sign us, and our singer Ake was going for meetings with them and stuff. And then we played a gig at the Beer Keller, not the one that was in the Printworks. Did you ever go to the Beer Keller that was on Piccadilly Gardens?
No,
Did you never go there? We used to do
no,
gigs there
no, no.
all the time. And the guy who run it, Graham Thomas, was we had two managers. He was one of our managers as well, and he was trying to get us signed for Sony, and it was so close. But what happened was, we did a gig at the Beer Keller. The person who liked us at Sony got dismissed. Something happened to him, and Mike Pickering took over. You know, from M People.
Oh, yeah.
He was a promo guy at Sony, and he came to watch us at the Beer Keller. And this has never happened. Like the mic stand, Aki was singing, the mic stand was falling down while he's playing guitar, so he's trying to sing like on the floor, and I dropped a drumstick. I've never dropped a drumstick in my life apart from that day.
Oh no!
So just certain things happened, and then our manager said to Pickering at the end, you know, what did you think? You know, it wasn't the best gig, and he said, I remember he said, we're not ready. I don't think we're ready. Well, that's how close we officially got to signing with a label.
Yeah. Oh, what a shame. Oh my God.
I mean, I've done other stuff. What else have I done? I'm just looking at my list of bands I've been in. When I was in Purple Heart Parade, we did release some songs on, like, you know, it was a psych band, so we got on some psych compilations and stuff like that. I've had bands where we've released stuff, but never been on a proper, you know, indie label or bit.
Yeah.
You know,
until you joined Time for Action.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was in Time for Action, we released an album.
Yeah.
That was on Strawberry Moon Records. We were dealing with them for a while.
Yeah.
And then something happened with that. I don't know what happened, but
yeah.
I'm the drummer. I just drum. And then we recorded an EP as well for TFA. But and then it just sort of fizzled out, Time for Action. And then we became SINKR, which I'm in at the moment. So it's me, Neil, and Simon, who were in Time for Action.
Time for Action.
Or we're a three-piece now, and we just carried on.
Before we actually saw, because, I mean, I do love Time for Action. I've seen so many Time for Action gigs. I've been to a lot of gigs.
Yeah, you bet. I've seen you at the front.
Yeah, I was in the front. But before we actually talk about Time for Action, I just want to say hello to Jared Thornton.
Oh yeah, G-Man.
Yeah, he said yes, Razzle.
All right, that's Ryan.
And Ryan said yes, G-Man. And my husband, who's actually my tech support, he said that sound and vision looking excellent, so that's good. Whenever he says sound and vision looking excellent, then that's
all
okay.
Right, good.
Yeah. So anyway, so Time for Action. I mean, I do remember the first ever gig that Time for Action did. It was the 1st of April 2017.
April 1st.
And that was the first and only time I've been to Boston. Yeah, it wasn't you who jumped for them.
No, I wasn't in them at that point. No.
Yeah, it was Mike Carty who was the drummer.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike's a top lad.
Yeah, but were you there did you see them?
No, I didn't make it. I was on my way. Me and Pierre were going to come to that one, but something happened with my car, and I was stuck in Sainsbury's car park. Couldn't get to the gig.
Oh no!
That was a good start.
Yeah. Well, Mike now plays in Space Monkeys.
Yeah,
so
Space
another
Monkeys.
Another brilliant Manchester band, Space Monkeys.
Plays bass for them, don't they?
Yeah. But did you? So like, when did you join Time for Action? I think in because that was 2017, the 1st of April 2017 when they first played
Yeah,
the
it was
gig.
2017 when I joined
Was
them.
it Shine On? It was a Shine On. I think when I saw you for the first time, it wasn't because
Yeah, I reckon it was around when Shine November. I reckon it was
yeah,
about, I think it was August 2017 when I joined
right,
the
yeah,
FA. So we had to practice for that. Was that our first gig? Oh no, we played a warm up gig at the Pay Hat before playing Shine. I just wanted to do play a dingy gig before
yeah.
playing a big festival.
Oh, of course, Space Monkeys were there as well in
Yeah,
2017.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I remember.
Time for
Yeah,
Action and Space Monkeys were actually, was it like one after the other when you
yeah.
played?
Space Monkeys. Oh no, we played, and then yeah, Space Monkeys were on after us,
Yeah, yeah,
and I know them. Well, I know some of them anyway, and I knew Mike. So because I'd replaced Mike, I said as we were going off the stage, he was coming on, and I remember saying, "We're all right, aren't we, Mike? We're still mates." And he went, got me in an headlock and said, "Of course we are, mate." Yeah, we're all still mates.
So what was it? What was it like for you? Because Shine On is actually like it's a big festival, isn't it? It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you were on center stage, weren't you, at the time? It was
The first time we played was center stage. Yeah,
center
isn't
stage,
the
yeah.
main stage, but it's a big stage. Yeah, yeah. It was good. I loved it. I love playing gigs. I don't care how many people are there. Two,
Yeah.
10,000. I'll just play in front of anyone. I just love playing. I just love drumming. I love playing gigs better than recording, I'd say.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah. I like both, but prefer gigs.
Yeah.
I've done other festivals with other bands I've been in. We did a festival. I was in a band called Waikiki Operators. Yeah, them.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
A local Manc band. Me and
yeah,
Quiff, me and Quiff used to be in them. We did a festival with them.
yeah.
Did
Wasn't there one in like somewhere in Wales or something, or just near Wales? That Waikiki Operators was like the one of the headliners.
is that a recent thing?
Well, this is all before, so like COVID. So
All
I
right,
think
no, I think me and Quiff had left.
is it in
I
real?
know.
Is it real in Wales or
Oh,
something?
real?
Yeah, real. Did you play with them then?
I didn't. No.
No.
I left and joined Purple Heart Parade. Have you heard of them?
No, no, not.
Right, they're on the psych scene. Uh, they've got it's like a whole different scene to suppose the indie scene in
Yeah.
Manchester. But did loads of really good gigs with PHP as well. We played London a lot. Probably played London more than Manchester, I think. And then probably one of the highlights of my drumming career. We played a festival in Portugal called
Oh,
Reverence Festival, Purple Heart Parade, and that was in front of loads of people. Don't know how many was there, but that was a really good festival, really good gig. That one.
yeah, yeah. So, well, this is like you said, psychedelic. It's psychedelic music.
Yeah, psychedelic. Uh, Purple Heart Parade. I suppose it sounds like early Verve. You know, atmospheric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Time for Action is more punk.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
punk music, isn't it?
Yeah, indie
So
punk, suppose.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was all right in the band because, like I say, when I was in Fenestella, that was a punk band, so that taught me how to play drums like really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm all right playing punk music. I can keep up.
Yeah. Well, because of the lockdowns and COVID and all the pandemic and everything,
Yeah.
was that? Would you say that's mainly or one of the reasons why like time for action like just fizzle out, and then that maybe you didn't have time to like rehearse or
Well,
do
we
some
weren't
recording?
allowed to practice for a while. We were in well at the start of lockdown, March
March
2020.
2020, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
2 years ago.
Time
Right.
Fraction had just recorded an EP, and we was going to promote it. We was going to play the Star and Garter, and then we got put into lockdown. Couldn't see each other. Couldn't practice. Time was ticking, and then when we were allowed out, I was ready to practice again. Like you know, so I was just I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we just me, Cliff, and Simon wanted to practice,
Yeah,
so we just went to the practice rooms, just the three of us,
and
and
you carried on
to
like
see how it
playing.
would go. Yeah, yeah. Just because we wanted to practice, we were bored of just
Yeah,
sitting at home.
yeah. So
That's how SINKR started. We enjoyed it so much.
yeah,
No offense to Dermo, but it's just the three of us enjoying it and writing new songs.
yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah,
were enjoying it, so I just thought we'll carry on. We'll call this band something else because it was
yeah.
totally new songs, what we were practicing. So yeah, here we
Uh,
are. We're in sync.
where did the name come from? And also, it's SINKR, SINKR, all
Yeah,
capital letters.
yeah, yeah. Well, we do.
Where did
What
it
you
come
do is
from?
when you start a band, you Google to see if there's anyone else called your name, what you want, and there was
Yeah, yeah.
already a thinker with an E. So it kind of stands for Simon, Neil, Keith, Reformed.
Oh, I
That's
didn't know
the
that.
idea behind it. So we just took the E out because there was already a thinker with an E. So that's what it stands for, really.
Oh my god. No, that's
That's
really
our
good.
name.
I didn't realize that. So it's Simon, Neil,
Yeah,
Keith, Reform.
reformed. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. That's
There you go.
so tell us more about SINKR then. So like any gigs or you said that you've been like
Yeah,
recording it to be a new album out and
yeah. We've recorded 2 songs so far. They're on our Bandcamp. They're not going to be on the album. There's going to be 11 songs on the album. What we've been practicing. We're ready to record, and I think we're going to record next month. We just need to book it in, get it booked in. But we'll record this album, get promoting it, put it on our Bandcamp, get promoting it with gigs. We've only got a few gigs so far. We're playing in Blackpool, sunny Blackpool, at the
when's that?
the Waterloo Bar. It's on a Thursday, 31st of March. And then I know we're going to be playing the Pear Hat. You know the Pear Hat?
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
that? Because
So
that's Manchester down there,
that's going to be in June, but we're just waiting for that to be confirmed. Yeah. So that's the only 2 gigs we've got so far, but we're ready to gig. We'll play anywhere.
Yeah, so
If anyone
the
wants us.
Blackpool one. Well, the Blackpool one, is that your first ever gig? Is that going to be a
SINKR.
the new band SINKR. Yeah, is that the
Yeah,
new?
yeah.
Is that the first one?
That'll be our first gig. It's with a band called Ultra Bomb. They feature ex-members of Husker Du and UK
Whoa,
Suds. They're
really?
a bit punky, but
Yeah, yeah,
SINKR, we're more alternative. We kind of, because we all love early 90s music, like alternative music. Like we sound, I'd say we sound a bit like that, like Dinosaur Jr.,
yeah, yeah,
Husker Du, the Pixies. There's a bit of that in our music. It's not as
yeah,
punky. It's not as punky as TFA. There is a few punky songs, but it's mainly alternative
yeah.
guitar music. Yeah.
So you'd say that fans of bands like Husker Du and Pixies should check out SINKR
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that, well, yeah, that's
Yeah, Beppo. Check us out, everyone.
yeah.
Come on. Yeah, that one.
So at least you've got those two dates coming. So one in Blackpool on the 31st of March,
Yeah.
and then one in Manchester at the Pear Hat sometime in June.
It's going to be a Saturday night, which is better for everyone to have a beer.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you don't drink, but
Yes.
Saturday
The Pear
night
Hat.
in
It's
June.
yeah, so it's a really nice venue, the Pear Hat.
Yeah, it's good. I like the
Yeah.
Pear Hat. Yeah, yeah. And there's ACMA in the same
Oh
building.
yeah.
Oh, you've been there? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Time for Action played there, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Cold Water
I don't know
Swimmers.
much about that night. I was a bit drunk.
Oh, one thing is that, do you know, whenever I think of Time for Action and Cold Water Swimmers as well,
Oh, yeah.
I always think of Bob McDuck. Do you know?
Oh, right.
Yeah, the duck man.
Why did he get on stage with them as well?
Well,
Oh, Water Swimmers.
because remember at Shine On, I mean, Bob was so like on the stage with Time for Action.
Yeah, putting me right off.
So I wonder if he's actually aware that, there's a new band now called SINKR. Maybe he can don his sort of like duck
No, you're all right.
duck head and then be with you again.
I think we'll leave the duck behind us, I think.
Well, Ryan McHugh said that Bob, what a bloke. So, yeah. But can I just like ask you? So, no, I know that you're like fans of all these. You're a fan of all these sort of like bands and everything. Out of all the bands that you love, can I just ask you? What's the one sort of like band that you'd really love to sort of like play drums in? So, like as a guest drummer, is
What
there
band would I
one
like to
particular?
guest in?
Is there one particular band that you really love that you want to be sort of like just
All right.
do a guest drumming in?
Any
Pardon?
band.
Yeah.
I'll have to think. Can't.
It's all like putting you on the
That
spot.
question.
It's just there's so many bands that
Who
you
do I love?
it's all like or is there
Interpol.
Interpol. Or
Yeah,
is there sort of like a song that you think the drumming is so amazing that you want to play that drum bit?
right. I don't know.
No.
I can't
No.
think of a band that's out at the moment where I think that. But there's bands in the past where I've wanted to be in them, like Mega City 4. Do you know them?
Yeah.
They're from the 90s. Ned's
Yeah,
Atomic Dustbin, Tad. I would have loved to have been in a band like Tad, heavy, powerful, good, strong drumming, like Yeah, I can't think of anyone. I like Deja Vega, the Deja Vega drummer.
Oh yeah,
He's
yes.
good.
I love Deja Vega. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They're really good. Really
yeah.
good. Well, you mentioned Ned's Atomic Dustbin. The
Yeah.
drummer and the singer, they've got a new band, which is like I think it's
Oh
called
yeah,
Stairs or Spares. Spares,
yeah.
I
I've
think.
not heard them yet, but yeah, they have. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll,
and
I'll
I
have to check them
think
out. Yeah.
they'll be playing in Manchester sometime. I think in the next few months, so a couple of
All
months.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm hoping that I could like because I would like to have the drummer of Ned's Atomic Dustbin
Yeah.
to
Oh, Dan,
go.
Dan, drumming man.
Hopefully he'll go and ask the drummer as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'd watch that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well,
It was
Ryan,
meant to be it was meant to be the Frank and Walters drummer today, wasn't it? Who I've stepped in for.
oh, it's the Frankie Walters. Yeah, it's
It was
because
meant to be Frank. Oh, I love them.
yeah, he's
I've been
got
watching
work.
them for years. Yeah,
You know,
he's a really good drummer.
yeah, I said to him, I mean, oh, work always comes first. So I rescheduled him. So he will be here on Ask the Drummer
Okay.
soon. But well, Ryan McHugh said Tangerine Cat. I think is that another sort of like
That,
band?
that's the
Tangerine
band.
Cat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've not heard of it though, so that's why.
they don't use a drummer. They use drum machines. It's all done on the computer. Their music.
Well, when you sort of like play like well, SINKR hasn't sort of like you're gonna have your first gig in the end of this month. But when you were in Time for Action and you were sort of like playing, and then you see a drummer sort of like watching you from, like an audience. So like, do you get so like how do you feel? Do you get intimidated or do you get so like nervous or do you just sort of like carry on?
No. I like it. I like anyone. I've had people sitting or standing right at the side of me, watching me.
Yeah.
Right in sort of right next to me, and I don't mind. I quite like it. I'm more nervous about this than doing any drumming because I don't have.
Well, I'm nervous as well. I mean, it's like when someone's like, I think that's why I always laugh is because like when I'm nervous, I just
Yeah,
laugh.
just laugh. Right.
Well, this is actually one of the questions I'm going to ask you. But Ryan also said, ask Beef who his favorite drummer is.
It's Merv Pepler. He used to be in Osric Tentacles. Have you heard of them?
I've seen some of
Osric Tentacles. He used to be in them. Merv Pepler is called. He's my favourite drummer of all time. I'd say my second favourite drummer is Bo Walsh. Do you know Bo Walsh?
No.
He used to be in Gabrielle's Wish.
Oh right, I've actually got a 7-inch of Gabrielle's Wish.
Oh yeah, get Bo Walsh on your show. He's a top drummer.
Are they a Manchester band? Because I know that it's like one of those split 7-inch. It's got Kill Laura on one side,
right,
and then it's got Gabrielle's Wish on the other
side.
Yeah,
they're from Manchester. Yeah, Karen used to be in them. Who was in Wonky Alice as well.
Right. Yeah.
Karen, you know Karen. Yeah, and then I've wrote my 3 favourite drummers down in case you ask that. So the third one is called Eric Sandin. Is the drummer from NoFX.
Another one.
NoFX are a punk band, and that's what I used to listen to a lot of NoFX and Rancid. They were the bands I used to like. Well, still do. I like Jimmy Chamberlain as well from Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, see, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're my favourite drummers.
But that's it's almost like when you talk about the
All the
other
ones
one.
you've not heard of.
Yeah, I think you and Cliff, some of the bands that you actually listen to, or that you gigs that you go to.
Oh
Sometimes I
yeah,
see it on Facebook, and I'm sort of like thinking, I have no idea who these bands are. I mean, I've always wanted to find out more about other bands. Anyway, so I'm always open to sort of like listening to other sort of like
yeah.
genres and, and stuff. And
Yeah, it's
like,
just because we grew up listening to like John Peel. We got into all
yeah,
sorts: indie, alternative, hip hop, electronic music, reggae.
yeah, yeah.
We like all sorts. So we do
And
watch a lot of, I don't know, strange bands.
but
That
have you completely forgotten about Jason and Kylie now?
oh, Kylie's
and
got a few good
and
ones.
Brother Beyond.
Not bothered about Jason.
Do you know that Matt Goss from Bros is going to be at HMV Manchester doing a signing session?
All right, I'll avoid that.
But I was sort of like saying that if it was Luke, the drummer,
Oh
I,
yeah,
would,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind going if it was
All
him.
right.
But anyways,
He uses
yeah,
a massive drum kit. Him got
Luke Goss.
loads of drums, but only hits 3 of them. Just for show.
Right. So, have you? Can I also ask you, being a fan,
Yeah.
who's the most famous drummer you've ever met? Because I know that you love drummers. You like me. You
All
love
right.
drummers. Who's the most famous drummer you've ever met?
Uh, you should have sent me the questions. Who I've ever met? Probably John Lever. I've had a pint with John Lever.
Yeah.
Millions. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had I would have loved to to have met John Lever as
Yeah.
well. Brilliant. Yeah, he's a brilliant drummer.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan said that he bumped into Matt Goss in the Venetian in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Great. Wow.
Get Ryan on your show.
I forgot to tell you, Jack Horner, Jack Horner, yeah.
Leon the Pig Farmer, yeah.
Yeah, Leon the Pig Farmer.
Yeah.
Big Alex Stashko.
Oh, Stashko, yeah.
Yeah, both of them said that you're a top drummer, top bloke.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. So that's what it is. So, apart from that, dropping a drumstick, that green, which was your opportunity to get signed by Sony, by Sony, but then you dropped a drumstick.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any other disasters, or what you call drumming disasters?
Yeah. I'd say when I was in Velvet Shore, I watched an interview you did with the girl from Lines.
Oh, Layla, yeah. Oh, she's awesome, Layla.
And
Yeah,
they used to be in a band called Hooker. They used to be in a band called Hooker. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we did a few gigs with Hooker when they were out, but I'm sure it was with Hooker.
Yeah.
This is the story. I was just playing my kit, and that was a gig in Blackpool, and it was on a surface where it wasn't. It was moving. The kick drum was moving as I'm kicking it. It was just moving away from me all the time. So I'm drumming and sliding down to try and keep up with the kick drum. And so I had to. Nowadays, I carry gaffer tape in my bag. I had to get gaffer from someone and gaffer the kick drum so it didn't keep running away from me. And then I remember doing a gig with it might have been, I think it was in Middleton somewhere. I know I was playing on the drum kit was on a riser thing, and so I was higher up than the others.
And
And the crash cymbal on my right was moving, and it was moving off the stage, off my drum kit stage. And I was playing, and I just give it another hit, and it fell off and landed on my brother's head.
Oh no!
While he's playing.
Oh my
god! I think that's it. I think that might be it. But I've seen another gig at Gulliver's, not a band I was in, but I've seen a gig, and the kick drum was doing the same thing, moving away from him. So someone volunteered. It didn't have a front on it. One of the crowd volunteered to sit in it, so it wouldn't go anywhere. So I bet that deafened them. He was in it while he was playing.
The only time I actually remember seeing that drumming moving away from the drummer is when the train sets drummer. He was Adam Halford. I saw him last year in Preston, and it was I think it was the rug or the carpet that they had.
Yeah.
It just kept sliding, and every time he saw and then I could see the frustration on his face.
Yeah.
So pushing it back.
We do have a few nightmares, us drummers. Guitarists just plug in and play, don't they?
But, it's like you just carry on doing it, and until right at the very end. Do you have any advice to aspiring drummers out there, Keith?
Just go for it. Just if you enjoy it, just keep doing it. Just keep playing. Don't give up, because I suppose it's hard. If someone's finding it hard to do, it's a bit like driving, I think. You're doing different things at once, the gears, the wheel, you're doing different things at once while you're drumming. I compare it to that. But if you're struggling, like I've only given drum lessons, I think, twice in my life, but I find it hard. I find it a bit hard to teach someone.
Yeah.
I suppose if they're not getting it, in my brain, I can't understand why they're not getting it. So I find it hard to teach. I'm not into that really, but just advice is if you enjoy it, just keep doing it, and you'll get better. Yeah. You'll get there in the end.
That's actually a very good comparison, the driving thing. Because that's the reason why I couldn't learn, because I've tried driving.
All right.
There's no way. It felt like I was so nervous, and I couldn't do all these things at the same time and looking at you
it's three different things you're doing. Foot kick. It's just I don't know how the brain does it.
It's the same. I tried. I had a a crash course on drummings and on drums, and I tried it. I just couldn't. I'd rather just watch the drummer.
Right.
Say, no, you do it. You're awesome. It's the same with driving. I know that, well, my husband drives, so let him drive.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there and so like enjoy the view.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't want you to miss your match. So thank
No, it's
you.
all right.
Yeah, well, so like thank you so much. I mean, I know it's such
Oh, it's all
short
right.
notice, but I'm really glad that you said yes to
Yeah,
us to
yeah.
join.
Don't you worry, Anna. I've enjoyed it actually.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to see you
Gone
enjoyed it.
pretty quick.
I know it's we've been talking for an hour already.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, good luck to your first gig, and good
Thanks,
luck
Anna.
to
Yeah.
SINKR. And I
You're,
would tell everybody to like just do check them out. They're on Facebook, on Twitter,
yeah,
Bandcamp. So yeah,
yeah,
do
yeah.
check out SINKR. And is there
Album
a
coming soon.
album? Yeah, album coming out soon.
It'll be coming soon, and then we'll do more gigs, and you can come and watch us.
Yeah, are you hopefully gonna be on Shine On in November? Fingers crossed. Hopefully,
I don't know. I've no idea. We'll
it
see.
would be nice. So like, yeah.
I'm not sure
I mean,
how we get them gigs.
they haven't released any sort of like the lineup yet. So
No.
we're hoping that you'll be there. But in any case, I mean, I will see you at Shine On anyway because you and Cliff are always there. So
Yeah.
so would anything else you'd like to say to our friends? What was joining us?
Just looking at my list. um, no, I just one of the things I wrote just was that Denise Johnson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Once she said she put on social media that I was in a top 10 favorite drummers, but I just wanted to pay respect to Denise as well because I loved
Yeah,
Denise used to come and watch bands that I was in, so loved Denise up there as well.
yeah. Well, Denise loved Time for Action.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw her at Hatch in Manchester on Oxford Road.
Oh yeah.
I went to a gig there and I was wearing a Time for Action t-shirt. And Denise was there and she saw me. And for the first, you know what I'm like with sort of like musicians. And whenever I see them, I was like, oh, can I have a photograph, please? And can I have a photograph?
Yeah.
But actually, that was the first time that an awesome musician asked me for a photograph.
All right.
Denise, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Denise asked me for a photograph. And she posted it on Twitter. And saying, I think she tagged Dermo as well because I was wearing the Time for Action. I do love, I love Denise Johnson. She's absolutely amazing. She's a beautiful, beautiful person. You know, very kind human being. I do miss her. And but and another one, only recently as well, Vince Keenan of 1000 Violins.
Yeah,
that was
I saw that on you put that on the other day.
Yeah, that was shocking as well because he loved Ask the Drummer, and I just felt like I wasn't expecting that at all because we were chatting and we were sort of like I don't know, it was just really shocking for me. So I don't know, but that's just what it is.
Let's not end on a downer.
Yeah, I think just sort of like continue and just enjoy life.
Yeah, and you, Anna. Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Anna.
Oh no, thank you so much for saying yes, Keith. I know, like I said, it's short notice, but I was so glad because when you didn't reply to my message, I thought, oh my god, it's not gonna happen. So
I don't check my Tinder that often.
so when you actually replied to it and said yes, I was like, that is so cool. We're going to have Ask the Drummer this week. So
I'll keep up the good work, Anna.
Pardon?
Keep up the good work with your
Oh, thank
podcast,
you.
and
Thank you.
yeah, I'll keep watching.
Oh, thank you very much, Keith. Thank you. So, yeah, enjoy the match.
I
Hope
think.
you win.
Oh,
And thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend as well.
all right.
And
Thanks a lot.
I'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
Joanna.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
see you
yeah. See you
soon.
at a gig soon. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Anna.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate everyone. So joined me and Keith on this week's Ask the Drummer podcast. Please do keep an eye out for next week's guest announcement post. I can tell you that it's going to be another Keith next week, and he's another absolutely amazing drummer. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. Um, and please do enjoy your life and love music, love life, and always love, love, love drummers. Bye for now. Bye.